Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to The Loud House, Season 2, Episodes 42 through 45. Yes, we are doing 4 episodes today. And there's actually a reason for this, because the website I used to get these episodes, and what the hell did I just do to my hair? For some reason, it's listing... It lists them like, okay, one episode at a time, one 11-minute episode at a time, right? But then for some reason, starting on episode 44 and 45, it lists those 2 episodes as a single episode. It's just 44. So it's like it just listed at 44, but it's 22 minutes long. It's 2 episodes and everything. I was even told by a friend that there is 2 episodes in there. Because I don't look at the titles and stuff, so I wouldn't know from that. But it's like, why? It's 2 separate episodes. Why are you listing it as one? I don't even know. I do not even know. But what I do know is that I keep messing up my hair. Is that this season's been pretty good, all things considered. It's definitely found its path, as I've said before. And yeah, again, as always, there's not really a lot to say, because there's not any ongoing plot, really. So it's not like I've got anything to really talk about, anything to really discuss with this. But yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. And I hope to enjoy this episode, well, these episodes as well. I'm sorry, I just really don't know what to say here. Because again, as I just mentioned, there's no ongoing plot. There's nothing I really need to talk about with each episode. It's always episodic. So it's like, I don't have any, anything to really discuss, any big plot points, any narrative moments or whatnot. It's just going to be like, okay, what are these episodes going to give us this time? I don't know. So we're just going to move on and find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. This set of episodes was okay, nothing spectacular. There were a couple here that were really good though. But let's start from the beginning. So episode 42, I didn't like this one, almost at all. This is actually my least favorite of this set. And I don't like how it ended up. I don't like the twist at the end, you could say, either. Let me explain. So there's this contest the library's holding, where if you win, you basically get a pizza party at this Chuck E. Cheese's kind of thing. You get the entire place all to yourself. You get to have this big old pizza party, and the entire family's excited about the prospect of it. But the thing is, you have to read books as a family, and the family that reads the most books wins. It's pretty much as simple as that. But everyone in the family has to read at least one book. So they're all reading, but Lola doesn't want to read. And she keeps telling them that, but they keep trying to force her in all these different ways. And throughout this, I'm really irritated because I hate what they're doing. I hate the fact that they're trying to force her to read for their own selfish desires, when she has said multiple times that she doesn't want to. And then the twist in the end is that she doesn't know how to read, and she actually wants to read. She wants to go to this pizza party, but she just doesn't know how to actually read. And I hate that twist, because it undermines everything that was going on with the episode prior to that. There was no hints that that was the issue. See, if you're going to do that, if you're going to have that twist, there has to be some kind of hint to that. Instead, everything was pointing out the fact that she just didn't want to read, that she just did not like it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And everything was kind of building up to the fact that they were trying to force this upon her, trying to force her to read for their own selfish desires. And it's just, it would have been better if she confronted Lincoln at the end and told him, I just don't like reading, and actually got angry with him for trying to force it on her. And then he realized that they were wrong to do that, and that they should not be forcing things on people like that. That would have been much, much, much better. But instead, they give this random out of nowhere twist that just doesn't... I mean, here's the thing. The idea that she doesn't know how to read, in my eyes, is bullshit. With the amount of eloquence she speaks with, she knows how to read. And honestly, I think the show has actually shown her reading before. I might be wrong about that, but I think it has. Either way, and you can't even use the, oh, she's still young thing because of all the other characters in this. Even fucking Lily read a book. Granted, it was a preschool level book, but still. It doesn't work within the context of the episode. And a twist has to work within the context of an episode. Or movie or whatever else. It did not work, and it just came across as cheap. It came across as a cheap way to get out of the idea of what the episode had actually truly been building towards. And it irritated the hell out of me. But moving on. So episode 43 was one that I wasn't like a huge fan of, but I didn't like hate like the first one. So episode 43, Lincoln is looking for his birth story for a school project. And when he finds the book, his baby book, he doesn't see any kind of actual story written into it. So he asks his parents, and they give some conflicting information. He asks his sisters, and they give some really weird information. And so he and Clyde try to discover the truth. But they come up with all these weird comic book, goofy, ridiculous ideas. And eventually, though, they do find out after confronting Lincoln's parents that he was delivered by the First Lady. And it's just like just a total WTF like way to resolve that. Just like, why? Why did you have to go there? Like, you could have done so many other better things and better reasons for why they couldn't say anything. It just feels like they were trying to give like this really over-the-top thing for the sake of being over-the-top, and it just doesn't work. Plus, there's this running joke in the episode about, like, wondering why Lincoln has white hair while his parents don't. And I want to be sure here so that I was completely right during the episode. Yup. Pop, or Albert is his real name, Lincoln's maternal grandfather, has basically the exact same hairstyle as him, same color and everything. He basically looks like an old man version of Lincoln. Like, pretty much spot on. And he's been shown multiple times throughout the series. So how the fuck do they not know why Lincoln has that kind of hair? It makes absolutely zero sense. It's not a funny recurring joke. If that episode had aired before we met Pop, before he was introduced as a character in the show, then it could have worked. But near the end of the second season, when we've seen Pop multiple times, it does not even slightly begin to work. In fact, it's actually really fucking annoying. And that's like one of the big things. One of the big things it hinges on that joke, and a lot of the ways like, oh, how can I be related to them? And the white hair is something they keep bringing up, and it's like, stop. The episode again didn't irritate me as much as the other one, the first one here, episode 42, but it definitely was problematic and just did not work. Um, but moving on, episode 44, this is where we get to the good stuff. So episode 44, Lincoln is trying to find a way to bond with his father when they realize they have a shared interest in the television program Legends of the Hidden Temple, which is a real television program, by the way. Like it's not made up for the show. I think it aired in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. Yeah, 1993 to 1995 on Nickelodeon. And of course, this is a Nickelodeon show as well, so it makes sense that they'd make that kind of reference. Um, it was a pretty popular show with a lot of people, and a lot of people remember it very fondly. Um, Let me see one thing here. Just want to check something real quick. Oh, it was narrated by D. Bradley Baker. Interesting. Kirk Fogg was the host. Is that the name they mentioned for the host on this show? I'm not sure. Hmm. Either way. Um, yeah, it was a fun. It was a really, really fun episode. I liked seeing Lincoln bond more with his father. Liked seeing that concept, and I liked the idea of them losing the reason for why they were there in the first place by becoming competitive. I think that's like how this kind of story usually works in the best way. And in the end, they did come to realize, and everything worked out for the most part. It seemed like airport security had some things to say, but yeah, I thought it was really fun. It was enjoyable. I liked the callback to classic Nickelodeon. It was a really nice episode. And then episode 45. So Lincoln has to watch his younger sisters while everyone else is out, but he wants to meet a celebrity at the mall who's basically Bear Grylls. He takes his sisters to the mall with him and basically puts them on a train to distract them while he waits in line. He gets his autograph but loses his sisters, has to go find them, and eventually has to give up his autograph to Scoots in order to get Lily off the train. And by the end, he gets everyone back home, all well and good, and his parents actually end up getting him having got him the autograph anyway. So it all worked out, and his sisters even hide his secret for him to apologize for everything, and to thank him as well. It was a really nice episode. It had a lot of great comedy. The Bear Grylls guy was ridiculous as hell, but in a good way because Bear Grylls is ridiculous as hell. That entire concept, like, I've never understood the appeal behind those shows. If you're into that kind of stuff, fine. I never understood the appeal of it. I definitely get I definitely understand though waiting in line to meet someone for hours. I've legitimately done that. I waited in line almost 2 hours to meet Tara Strong at BronyCon, and multiple other examples of that. And I also understand, especially with Tara Strong is another example, um, what it means to be that nervous when you actually do get to meet them. I mean, I can tell you right now, when I met Tara Strong, I talked to her and everything, but afterwards, I had to legitimately sit down outside of that hall of the convention center because I was dizzy as fuck. I was dizzy. I was having a hard time like concentrating. I was blacking out pretty much. I was so fucking nervous, so fucking scared the entire time I was talking to her. And I got the picture with her, and it's one of my most treasured memories from any convention, but still, it was terrifying because of how much I do and have looked up to her pretty much my entire life. Like, as long as I can remember, she's voiced characters from my childhood. I mean, obviously not my entire life, but still. And even into my adulthood, she's voiced characters that I still love and follow. So, yeah. Um, and I understand how good it feels to get that moment and how nervous you can be when meeting them. And I also understand how you can tend to prioritize stuff like that. So there was a lot that was relatable with Lincoln in this episode, and stuff I definitely understood. And I do like how he was super willing. It was just like so willing to give up that autograph for his sisters. Like he didn't hesitate about it. He wasn't even really sad about it. Like you saw that he never even cried about it. He never got like upset about it. He was just like super instant. It's like, oh, you didn't get to meet this guy. Here, have my autograph. He was just super quick about it. And then after it happened, when his sisters talked to him about it, he's like, "No, you're more important." I like that. I like that he didn't actually have that struggle, because that's how it commonly goes. The character will struggle to do it, but will figure that it's right in the end. No, he just knew it was right and just gave it up. So it's a really nice touch. Um, Miss Scoots was awesome as always. There were some other fun jokes in the episode, and I just really enjoyed it. Just overall, it was just really fun. So yeah, with this set of episodes, basically the first two episodes, 42 and 43, not so good. The second two, 44 and 45, pretty good. Not the even so though they were not the best episodes. These second two. But they were really enjoyable, really fun ones. And I wouldn't even say these first two are necessarily the worst episodes we've had on the show. But they were definitely problematic, and they definitely had issues that I can't get over. Um, but tell me in the comments below what you thought of these episodes of The Loud House Season 2. Tell me your thoughts, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,